Biafra approved. Nigeria divided into three as US, EU, and UK meet for final declaration. No be small thing, my people. The EU, US, and UK have met finally for a final declaration for the division of Nigeria. Yes, Nigeria will be split into three. Already we have said it, and it's already showing its face. My dear listeners, before I begin with this very video, I would plead to you to please click the like button, hit the bell button, and also subscribe to this channel to get the full video of this update, and also share it to your friends to be informed before this come to you unaware. In fact, I will tell you that I am the most happiest if this is actually coming to pass. I beg, make we enter the video, make we see the truth as it take happen. Please go nowhere and watch this video.
Union. This is Günther Fellinger-Jan speaking. I'm calling here from Vienna to recognize the Republic of Biafra. Biafra in ex-Nigeria, Nigeria to my request, and this is a non-working state, and they have committed genocide in 1967 to 1970 against the Christians of Biafra and the people of Biafra, and now they are all well, since the last 15 years, living in terrible conditions. They are often led for some jihadists to kill them, and there is atrocities about atrocities. And it's much better for the people of Nigeria if Biafra becomes their own state, and they can sort out then inside Nigeria the other issues, or maybe there will be other regions which are better off in this non-working state of Nigeria. So ex-Nigeria must start with Biafra, and the international community, contrary to the 1960s and 70s, must support the independence of Biafra Republic. In the 1967-90, that tragic years, the West was at its weakest. There was the Vietnam War, and tragically Nixon, who was positive for the people of Biafra, but he did very little, and I want to apologize for his failures, and I want to especially criticize and also apologize for the imperial UK and French governments who were actually supporting, due to oil interests, Nigerian centralists' crackdown on the poor people of Biafra. And we, as Christians, as Europeans, should absolutely stand with Biafra and support them. And that's why I call on President Trump and on the European leaders, Ursula von der Leyen, please, I beg you, I pray, recognize the Republic of Biafra. There's no need for military intervention or these things. Just do the political steps of recognition of these poor people to have their own state, to live in security, and of course then recognition goes with the ability to be recognized and also to defend yourself. It's much better than having a military intervention in Nigeria, having the Biafra Republic equipped and armed to be able to defend yourself against the potential invasion from the Nigerian centralist forces of that failed state. And so here the defense comes with the recognition, and that's exactly how we should do. Biafra Republic, please my friends, I beg you, recognize it and build a strong, viable state, part of the free world, and that's what I call the Fellinger doctrine and also the Fellinger economics. Build a decent state, part of the free world, no BRICS, but OECD, no kind of alignment with genocidal Russia, but alignment with America, with the European Union, with the free world, and we will have a free trade agreement, open economics, of course the flat tax, I like very much, and the currency, which Nigeria never did, to join the Euro-backed area. This is the best policy for West Africa, and Biafra will be a proud member of the Euro-backed area, and this will be delivering much more prosperity in the future, and we will trade and we will work together.
Again, the purpose of this event is to try to make sure that the Congress of the United States, the administration of this country, our friends and allies around the world, and not least, of course, people of goodwill in this country and elsewhere, are on notice that Nigeria is at risk of disastrous collapse. That the forces that we've just been talking about are in the process of taking down a country that is the most populous in Africa, with horrific implications, not just for the immediate vicinity, the Lake Chad region as its known, but for that continent and almost certainly others beyond. Congressman Wolf mentioned Burma, talking about a catastrophe that would make what has happened to Europe in the past few years as a relatively small number of people migrated there with unbelievable chaotic consequences. Look like a day at the beach by comparison. We're on notice. And the question is, do we have to wait until this horror is upon us before something is done about it? Or do we take steps now to try to prevent that? And I don't think any of us is saying that this is a panacea. But the appointment of the appropriate individual with the requisite authority, I just want to underscore what Congressman Wolf said about having the President of the United States.
Lily's Catering has a lot on their plate, but AI agents take stuff off it.
Contract's done, Chef.
So she...
essentially personally empowering Senator Danforth to lead the effort on behalf of our country to alleviate that situation. That has to be done again, and it has to be an empowering of a person with the stature and the capabilities needed to do two really vital things. One is to pull together the government agencies that have responsibility for pieces of a problem like Nigeria. The Defense Department, as well as, of course, the State Department, USAID, the UN mission of the United States, the National Security Council, and others, to come together with a common, appropriate, and much needed policy approach. And then secondly, at least as importantly, to be able authoritatively to represent what that approach is to the government of Nigeria. So they know who they're dealing with. They know that this is in fact the policy, and they can't go, looking for people who would provide some sort of alternative that might not require as much of them. So it's those two vitally important things that have to be done. And on behalf of, again, the Save the Persecuted Christians Coalition and team, I just want to say I think this is a moment of truth, a moment when we will find a difference being made.
Yes, while this very message is going on, some comments just came in, and some have already started appreciating this very move coming from international communities. This very say, sir, thanks so much for supporting Biafra freedom, and God will bless you and your family for saying the truth. Of course, who no go support Biafra? Now only even blind man himself is supporting Biafra. Yes. Are you not aware that some Yorubas are even calling to join the Republic of Biafra? Okay. Yes, this is coming from another person, Jamin. He said, prophecy fulfilled. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said it, that a time will come when the whole world, which has turned deaf ear at Biafran cry for referendum, will begin to discuss. They don't discuss them already. They have met. In fact, they are concluding that very discussion as we speak. And when it comes, I swear that Nigerian government will have no choice than to just hands off. Who are those people that are saying that the US cannot be of great help? I laugh. If not for the United States of America, did you think that Nigeria would have won the war of 1967? Do you think so? Listen to this.
That it has become a global thing. Now we are seeing the reaction of the EU president is saying that the issue of self-determination must be resolved in accordance with the international law, and that the Biafran restoration of sovereignty is something that they have come to understand, and that is highly overdue, and they are going to take a decision which they have already taken. That's what the woman was actually saying. And he was saying this in the presence of the NATO chief, who was also present in that gathering, that they will not repeat 1967 stand on Biafra, but that this time around they are trying to get EU nations and EU leaders to look into and begin the process of recognition of Biafra as a sovereign nation. But currently now, the EU has agreed that Nigeria should be split and that Biafra sovereignty should be something that has actually followed non-violent approach according to United Nations.
Wow, EU agree Nigeria should split into three. That is a very beautiful good news. The man you heard that spoke before this very one is an EU delegate. Yes, an EU delegate. You heard all he said, giving instances and reasons why this should be allowed, calling on the US President Trump to give his support and also take move to make this happen. In fact, Nigeria will divide. There is no going back about it. So let everyone begin to say something about this, just as it has finally been given a declaration. All right. Thank you.